My goodness, you're back! You're really back for Game 5 where FlyQuest faces Counter Logic Gaming. Hey, we're back. And more bangers in a Porter Robertson set today, so my goodness, am I excited for FlyQuest versus Counter Logic Gaming.
All right, and let's take a look at the starting roster. Selecting blue side, it's FlyQuest. In the top lane, it's Flame. In the jungle, Santorin. Mid laner, Keen. Bot and support going to be Wild, Turtle, and JJ with Coach St. Vicious.
Been looking good so far. FlyQuest on the precipice of playoffs so they can keep themselves alive, but challenging on the red side, it is Counter Logic Gaming. In the top lane, Darshan. In the jungle, Rainova. Mid laner, Huhi. Bot, Stixay. Support Biofrost, and Coach Goldman. Yesterday, FlyQuest kept their playoff dreams alive, though, as they look for their 9th win today. You said it in the last game, 9 is close to a lock at this point.
Yeah, it's generally been that magic number, and Wild Turtle was popping off yesterday. Definitely carried then. St. Vicious was talking about how well he played, and people have been talking about, hey, we want to see FlyQuest get some clean wins, right? If there was a team for that to happen against, it is CLG.
Certainly is. We'll see if they can execute on that versus Counter Logic Gaming, whose split has been defined, unfortunately, by their inability to translate early leads to later success.
Yeah, I mean, CLG, they tend to get these early leads, but then they kind of plateau after their early game. They start out with these huge advantages. They're best in the league at 10, they're second best in the league at 15, and then it goes down to 4th, 5th, etc., right? They start to fall further and further behind, and if CLG lose, they are guaranteed to be locked out of playoffs. This is a team that made, the most kind of, I would say, famous coaching change, really. Zix being replaced after 5 years with the organization is swapped out there for Goldman. And really, CLG have had a very disappointing year. It has really been tough for the org, one of the most storied organizations in NALCS history. I'm looking at a picture of them in their championship in Vegas right there to our left. And that is one of those things that people think of when they think of CLG. And they missed playoffs in spring. They've now lost 7 straight games in summer. That is not something you would normally expect to hear from this CLG organization, for whom so many had high hopes. And they are now on the precipice of 8 straight losses, potentially could finish on 10 losses straight if the trend continues.
All right, let's play catch-up. Bands on the left side, Rakan, Kindred, Talia over on the right, Aatrox, Akali, Zoe, first pick Trundle, Ferris, Gragas, Ashe. We're all caught up.
You did it. All right, so Trundle as a first pick is something we have not seen in a while, especially when Nocturne is up. I was surprised to see Nocturne just get completely skipped over by both teams. Moving through picks and bans extremely fast. Gragas kind of as the answer to that Trundle is also definitely a little bit surprising. You have to remember, though, it is more of an AP Gragas these days than pure tank. A lot of players are just going Runic Echoes and Azonias and these sorts of builds, so you're not going to be able to steal as many pure stats as you would have before had this been a Cylinder Hulk into pure tank style of build. So certainly the dueling there becomes a little bit better. There also is the potential of Darshan taking this Gragas up to the top lane, so we'll have to watch out for that.
Gangplank, though, as the things do slow down as CLG's first ban in Phase 2. They'll join it with Gnar and Syndra. Was the 4th ban there for FlyQuest. We'll see what number 5 is here.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, a lot of focus on Flame over there on the top side. This may be because Darshan is going to be the kind of unlucky blind pick here for his team. If you are going to be picking him right next in that 4th slot, as I am expecting with that double ban, Mundo has been taken away here also, so a lot of the safest top lane picks are gone, and it is going to be Darshan getting locked in on the Cho'Gath, so makes a lot of sense. You take away some of those traditional tough matchups, but there are still others available for Flame if he is willing to play a little bit more risky.
This would constitute that somewhat. You can see Flame, looks like he's conversing with his coach and teammates. Oh,
I don't love Rumble into Cho'Gath. It's one of those matchups where sure you can have the very early push, but Cho'Gath actually has pretty strong sustain and pretty strong kind of anti-push and pushing power himself. And if Rumble really can't kind of get you stuck under that turret, I think it becomes very difficult. So I would be a little bit surprised to see it. But there are options if you want to play a little bit more risky, like something along the lines of the Jace. But it is going to be the Rumble, so we'll see how much he's going to be able to get out of that early priority. Once Cho'Gath starts to build up some of the MR, once he gets to things like the Abyssal, it can become a lot tougher, especially in this kind of modern era where more and more people are actually going for Comet on all of these tanks and some of these pushing matchups. So we'll see how well Flame can handle this, but certainly there is a potential to be outscaled. either way, Trundle is going to be there to deal with Cho'Gath in later stages.
Yep, certainly is, as Orianna is the last pick after Rise Rumble there for FlyQuest. So very standard between these two. Maybe the Rumble sticking out there for Flame has historically trended towards, you know, more bruiser, more carry style champions. But as you said, could be tough here against Darshan with his tank of choice on Cho'Gath. But I think both these teams kind of looking for the same thing despite being in very different positions in the league. Currently, CLG want to pick up what wins they can. If by some miracle they can rattle off 3 straight, then there are shots they can still make here for FlyQuest. Again, looking to secure that playoff berth. Do need a win here, and then one more for sure, I think, gets them there. But no reason to lose now this late in the season, especially against a team that has been struggling all year long.
And this does actually make 3 straight Rumble games here for Flame, so obviously very comfortable in the matchup. He played it into GP. Actually, both games, you know, against Impact and against Solo. So this is his first time having a crack at it against a tank. So we'll see how well he's going to be able to perform. And yeah, I mean, the other thing you always have to take into consideration when you're looking at these low-ranked teams is they're playing for their spot.
Certainly true. I mean, talk a lot about CLG being such a storied org. I think no one expected someone as entrenched in the org as Zix to leave so late in the season. And so now you have to start questioning for players that have now been around together for quite a long time. And you think about names like Darshan, been around forever. Kuhi has kind of become one of the faces of his team since his other, you know, former, more famous teammates, if you will, have left the organization. So thinking that there could be more change on the horizon certainly has to be in some of these players' minds.
Yeah, I mean, you want to have strong performances. You want to prove that you are worth keeping around, because when a team is willing to drop a coach who has been with the org for 5 years, you know, they are certainly willing to drop players as well after a year of disappointing results here for CLG. Theoretically, there still is a path into playoffs, I do believe. They are not mathematically eliminated until they lose one more game, but for a team that has lost 7 straight, rattling off 3 straight wins after getting rid of your head coach is going to be a tall task.
Yeah, for FlyQuest, it's who do you want to be tied with? Do you want to be tied with TSM and Optic, splitting at 8-8, or do you want to be tied with EgoFox and Cloud9? Given the trajectory of those teams, I think I know where I'd rather be as we move in towards our last week, actually, as the NLCS. This is our last game of week 8.
And FlyQuest, despite the fact that, you know, a lot of criticism has been levied their way for their unconvincing wins, a lot of their kind of base race style games that have, you know, been pretty crazy, they have one of the easiest schedules remaining. So they got a lot of those crazy wins against top level teams, right? They have, you know, I believe statistically the easiest schedule remaining. So FlyQuest certainly in a very, very good position to be able to lock in playoffs. And, you know, Mark was willing to say on the NLSS top of the day during Countdown that he's willing to bet on it, right? That he's confident enough that it's basically a done deal. So we'll see if FlyQuest can kind of make good on that and allow Mark to keep his pride.
They're also not called Counterlogic Gaming for nothing. So let's see what happens here as JJ Wild Turtle will join late here after helping Santorin over on his red buff. Looks like blue red side start for Rainer, but also, of course, cross-map from FlyQuest's current position. Here with the Varus Braum, seen a lot of this today. Actually seen a lot of this exact matchup 2v2.
Yeah. It's becoming kind of the go-to, right? And as games have gotten slower, people want, you know, a lot of these scaling marksmen to kind of be in the mix. And when you bring in marksmen, when they are higher priority, then tanks become higher priority because it's about protecting those marksmen, enabling them in the late game, and everything starts to slow down a little bit, which then brings in strategies like split push, where you can kind of spread the map a bit more. So the meta certainly has taken a shift, and you know, we've seen less and less mages on this path. I believe just one this week. I can only think of the Swain from Lost.
Yeah, in bot
did
lane.
actually lose.
Yes, have not been too many there. Going over here. Shotgun through the Raptors. Does take them down. Hulk shot from Turtle. Does just spot him, I believe. So we'll have some info on what Rainover's up to. And of course, likely saw the other 2 camps, but they are gone. Looks like Crab though for Santorin. Takes the left side scuttle. Rainover going to do the same there on the opposite side.
Yeah, Rainover just going for basically a power clear. And he may actually try to get down and perhaps steal away the Krugs, but for now, not going to be the option.
Checking for vision.
And
sweep through.
Did do a full clear topside, so he grabs the scuttle. He can have then all of these camps to clear up and should be a little bit ahead of Santorin in that regard, but did obviously spend some time trying to get vision as well. And Santorin may have time to actually get back to base and get out on the map and even up those camps before it really becomes anything.
Big wave here being built up by 6 and by Frost, and they are going to escort it here to the turret. Let's see if they can't deny some away from Turtle, who's going to try and hit them as best he can under the turret. Stixxay there, a little bit of poke. Actually going lethal tempo here. Seen a lot of comments today on Varus for that extra lane power and poke, but not here for Stixxay.
Yep, and this is going to mean that he's doing auto attack focus build. It should not be lethality with the lethal tempo. We're expecting a Blade of the Rune King rush, Blade of the Rune King, Rage Blade Hurricane, this sort of style where it is physical damage focus, it is auto attack based. And, you know, they don't have a lot of damage in this comp, really. They have a lot of sustained damage, so, you know, you kind of need that from him. And both junglers end up just doing 6 camp clear plus scuttle, so you know, no real gank attempts from either side. They're both going to end up with the same amount of farm, same amount of clear.
Very relaxing first 4 minutes of the game.
It is. Yeah. It's the no rush.
Yep, even mid lane, just farming back and forth. Rise Orianna tends to do that. He going to lose the race to first back here. Keen with a nice timing. Also has TP, but probably won't commit it here. Just going to go back and pick up some mana crystals. Oh, I'm Talawai. He is going to TP back.
And Darshan does actually elect to not go for combat. He's just going to go grass. Rumble obviously is a melee champion, so you don't need that. You know, it's definitely not a must-have by any means, but you can see Rumble is not really pressuring this lane heavily. You know, the farm is fairly even. Darshan is full HP. Can be one of the more difficult tank matchups, I think, to bully for the Rumble in the early stages. Cho'Gath really does kind of excel as far as the wave clear does go.
Yeah, nice lead here, actually. 6 and
a lot of farm,
yeah, more than 10 as they'll take these next few. Now dematerializing. Oh, so juicy. Love that little combo.
The Rise wave clear very, very strong. But I mean, he still has all his charges on his Corrupting Potion, so doesn't have to go back to base just yet, but now does take a little bit of a rough trade. We may see junglers come around, just help him push out, and fight on the bot side.
What happened here? Yeah, that's a stun into the Devour. Bifrost forced to flash away. Has no sums left. Stun, eat arrows from the Ash. Flash forward, burst blood's over. Turtle! He's gonna grab it, and now Stixxay. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, JJ very low as well. Turtle is just gonna die.
Okay, that was too much.
Yeah, Turtle just kind of continued the fight there. Both ADs have flash. Both of them just decide to fight it out, and it is Stixxay that gets a kill back. He does survive, and with the farm advantage, he's ahead, but now there's the dive.
Beautiful dive. Shockwave's not bad from Huhi, but it's an easy one there for Santorin. Keen is forced to flash away, but he will get out safely.
Yeah, nicely done on the dive there from FlyQuest, who he hadn't gone back to base yet, so really not a lot of power in the kit here. And Biofrost stepping forward when already tongue lashed, not something you really ever want to do. I mean, you want to wait until those hunger stacks kind of expire from the Tahm Kench, so he gets the stun into the eat, exhaust him, flash forward for the auto, and Turtle gets an easy first blood there without even having to flash, but then decides, hey, I'm going to fight this out, but the stacks are on him from Stixxay. It nails the piercing arrow. That is a deceptive amount of damage that you can put out there. So despite the fact that first blood went to Turtle, it is Stixxay who is still ahead, you know, thanks to that farm advantage, but it is very, very close.
Well played there by Stixxay. Unfortunately for Bifrost, not so much. Let's see if those exchanges to increase, especially with lots of summoners burnt. Maybe junglers want to start paying some attention.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it would be an easy lane to gank for Reignover. He has his ultimate. Tahm Kench has no flash, so certainly something that you can look to attack. Either way, wasn't expecting this to be any sort of a kill lane. This is generally a very passive farm lane, but if you make mistakes, you can be punished. And thankfully for CLG, they do trade it back, and Reignover running into flame.
Yep. A great time. Oh, actually ults him back. Smites him down as well. Here's the Realm Mob though from King. He's going to move in. Does get the root down. That should be a kill. Greg is not that tanky. Reignover actually may be able to get away. No, not so lucky. But here's Darshan going to try and again force another CLG trade. No Shockwave. It's about 15 seconds away. Is Flaming King dip, dodge away, and Blast Cone to safety, and steal the red buff.
Yeah, I mean, Reignover ults him in, but Darshan wasn't there. He doesn't have ultimate, so there's no follow-up damage to actually get that kill. And they say, oh, okay, I guess we'll just fight. So they do kill off Reignover. Santorin getting involved there with the ultimate, now stealing away the red buff. So everything looking like it's going FlyQuest's way.
And again, for what was a calm first 4 minutes, FlyQuest has done a really good job reading CLG's patterns, setting things up for themselves. Is that something that's pretty underrated about FlyQuest as a team? They're not particularly flashy, and a lot of their end games, as you said, have looked pretty messy.
Yeah.
But they're just a really solid team.
Yeah, they are very, very solid. I mean, they have massively improved since actually, you know, arriving at this roster. You know, bringing in JJ, bringing in Santorin, the team has gotten so much better. So, you know, a far cry from where they were in Spring Split, and they do deserve a lot of credit for that constant improvement that they have been able to achieve. And for CLG, it has been a whole year pretty much, well, a whole split at least of strong early games, but weak, mid, and late. And, you know, in this game now they don't really have that early game buffer to work with, and they have not been able to actually make anything happen in the mid and late game. So we'll see if they can kind of pull something out, if they can show something a little bit special.
Nice there from Total to spot Rainover. Also in general from the FlyQuest duo to suspect Rainover's pressure, as he did hang out in that brush for quite a long time. But no success gank there. Flame also getting some pressure down here in the top. Looks like Darshan is going to come back after eating a little bit of damage. And
Yeah.
Stixxay Bio still playing up in this lane. Stixxay again has that farm lead, has that kill. He's kind of the good note here for CLG's early game.
Yeah, and he has really been kind of one of the bright spots for CLG throughout this split. I still think that his laning has been very strong. His laning stats have been solid. Shockwave is available for Hoodie here, so they could potentially look for Keen. And Darshan, I think he went back to base because he's worried about a potential dive. His jungler was on the bottom side of the map. He knew Trundle could be up at the top, so going to be a bit worried about that. But we'll be able to get out there, and looks like he's probably going to be building towards, you know, maybe an adaptive or something like that. This could also just be pieces of an abyssal as he works towards that item.
Makes sense though for the early MR. Flame also has gone back as his mask already finished up. And Santorin once again back here towards his bot side of the map, but this time it's not just the bot lane that he can look to attack, it is the Infernal which he will start.
Yeah, and that's going to be a really nice dragon for them to grab, you know, kind of securing some of that scaling advantage that they already are sitting on. I have to give a lot of credit to Wild Turtle. This Hawkshot is not going to actually catch much, but he has been pretty on point with tracking Raidover throughout the game with that Hawkshot. So definitely doing a very good job there, and it's one of those things that is really kind of goes unseen a lot of the time, I think, with Ashe. You know, I've had a lot of people kind of ask me sometimes, you know, why do pros pick Ashe so much? And this is one of the reasons. The vision is so damn good, but FlyQuest going for the dive.
This feels very mean. Stixxay not really much to do there. Does get taken out by Keen, and JJ even moves the aggro off of Total by devouring him. Really well played.
Yeah, very clean dive from them there. CLG will try to trade back, grabbing this Rift Herald, but that's going to mean their turret just goes down. I doubt that Bifrost can actually keep this one alive. Nothing really Stixxay could do. He holds onto the flash, but they're going to lose the first turret. They lost the Infernal, trying to get something back with the Rift Herald, but we'll see if they can convert on that and really kind of knock down a couple turrets to make this trade worthwhile.
Restack there for Darshan. Not too bad. They've got the Herald, of course, as well. See if they can look to trade those turrets, but of course that extra gold already over to FlyQuest, who are swapping their duo up towards the top side. Rain over here has flash. Looking for Keen, but Keen with a really good flash.
Yeah, very respectful there from Rainover. You can't react once they've already flashed because the body slam flash is going to hit you, is going to stun you up. So as soon as you see them body slam, if you suspect it's coming, you've got to flash early. And Keen does so, gets out of there. No need to risk it, really. Your team is so far ahead, right? You can trade a summoner like that and feel fine about it.
Also gets Rainover's flash as well, so at least the trade there for Keen is going to stay alive. And continuing to just mow down creep waves here with Rise.
And we can see Turtle already up to the top side. The lane swap has not come through for CLG, so Turtle is going to be very soon working away on this turret. Darshan doesn't have his TP just yet. May just be a turret trade here. CLG's trying to knock down the one on the bottom side. They're going to drop Rift Herald, so they're going to try to push for 2. This is a pretty nice move from them. If they can knock down both, this does become pretty worthwhile. We'll see if FlyQuest can look to respond. Maybe Flame can try to do something about it, but without the equalizer, I honestly think CLG just get 2 turrets, no problem.
He's 10 seconds away from the ult, so FlyQuest will take the turret, but again, the charge is here. Flame, ooh, actually going to use a TP there. It's JJ coming in.
Okay.
Tails are going to go down, so they have to commit something. They decide support summoner is the best thing to do.
Yeah, and that's just the spellbook TP, so not really much of a cost. They were moving down Trundle and Rise as well, so denying CLG that double turret there. Still, Rainover and the rest of CLG doing a good job getting something from that Rift Herald, which they really, really needed to do because they had lost a lot. They lost first turret, they lost Infernal, they lost the kill, so they needed to get some wins, and this is something to get them back on the board a little bit, but still, they are very far behind for this early on in the game. It's already over 3,000 gold.
I wonder where he was
That's
going.
pretty cute.
But waiting for Santorin so they can steal the red buff on spawn. Cool little pairing there. And Santorin, yeah, he'll grab the red buff. Denied away from Rainover. That's some super feels bad man counter jungling.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Rainover lost his last red, and as you said, gonna lose this one on spawn. So tough stuff for them, and he is falling behind. You know, and one of those things you always kind of want to bail out into a more tanky style build as Gragas when you are behind, but you know, that kind of works more in Trundle's favor as well. So that's going to be tough to deal with. You can see all of the Merc threats already being purchased up here by FlyQuest, 3 of them on the top side to deal with any potential CC that can come through from CLG. You know, Stixxay still really is the only one that is kind of ahead. He has a farm advantage. They have similar item timings here in the bottom side of the map, but even with his edge, everyone else is kind of falling behind. Mid lane is fairly behind. Top lane is falling behind. They're losing turrets. They're losing objectives, and they're going to need to find some good engages.
Ooh, good ult. Better devour. JJ just scoops Turtle off to safety. Now the counter arrow is going to come. Is blocked by Biofrost. Ult also used there by Rainover to disengage the fight.
Yeah, Rainover throws that out. You know, I wonder if they could have just gone for a bit of a fight there. I think Biofrost had done a good job blocking up a lot of that damage, so potentially they could have looked to turn it around either way. It is just the trade of ults. No summoners really down for either team, so not too big of a deal on either side. And you know, Flame going to be continuously shoving Darshan in.
JJ, sorry, actually going to get stunned, so is forced to flash away there. Uses exhaust as well, by the looks of things, so maybe Rainover now can start something else. But
Spotted out.
Spotted by the Hawk shot.
Such a nice job there by Turtle. So just again, anticipating the fact that someone could be in that brush, he checks it out, shuts down the play before it even gets started, and FlyQuest really just pressing on all sides at this point, you know, extending this gold lead slowly but surely.
And now again, keeping their dual lane anchored mid. Nice spot for them to be with both Ryze and Rumble able to pretty effectively crush down those side lanes. I mean, already up 3,500 gold or so. Pretty big early game lead here for FlyQuest with one Drake as well, with the Ocean spawning in just under a minute for them to maybe look to. CLG, they've done generally a good job as a team this year, and of course this split as well, of reacting and trading, but you need a little bit more than that to close out games, which is obviously part of the reason they've had some struggles.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, you need to be well coordinated, well focused in setting up the objectives, and FlyQuest starting this one out.
Yet another play. Stixxay going to be forced to flash out. Biofrost maybe the next target, but they'll just take the flash and leave it.
Yeah, it's a nice trade. I think that the Trundle pillar with the equalizer there is actually a pretty nice combo. It makes, you know, engaging with that equalizer more reasonable if you can kind of bump them back into it and kind of lock them down with that huge Trundle pillar slow. So a good roam and attempt there from FlyQuest, gets them a summoner, and this game is really going to be on the back of Stixxay. You pretty much have to be able to be carrying in the team fights as this Varus, so there's going to be a lot of attention on him, and getting the summoner down there is actually a pretty big deal, because it really is essentially 3-man frontline, an Orianna, and then the Varus. And sure, Shockwave can be very impactful, but so much of the consistent damage has to come from Stixxay.
Everyone else is also behind, and he's the one that's at least even, so CLG, looks like they're staying grouped here to try and contest for this Drake. Meanwhile, Keen, with his TP almost back up, is just splitting top lane, looking to take down another turret here.
And likely will just knock it down. No one's really in position. We do see that Hui's going up top side now. The rest of CLG does get down a dragon, but nice Tahm Kench ultimate from JJ, so this should secure them the turret. We'll see if they want to stick around. Shockwave comes in to clear it out, so nicely done by Hui, but his turret will still fall. Yep,
that's a wave, gets some damage down, but not enough to save it, unfortunately for him, so instead he'll wait for the wave and collect it now that they've left. CLG trying to counter-push mid lane here. 3v1 right now, just Santorin looking to defend this. Arrow coming. It's Biofrost. Just gonna buy some time. Ooh, Flame actually also over the wall. It's actually enough to deter the push. Really nice stuff there from Turtle.
Yeah, really good arrow. Just shooting that out does slow down that push, and you know, they can't commit for a fight after it, but they're happy to just kind of clear the wave, defend that turret. Flame is behind Santorin, and they know that will be a tough dive to make. So CLG will back off and take the kind of poor end of the trade once again. They do get the Ocean, but they lose a turret, and they lose pressure on the map once more.
I mean, doing what they can, but it's tough to trade effectively when you are behind, although sometimes it is your only option. Again, CLG doing a good job keeping the game afloat. But FlyQuest have been really good at being proactive here in this game, using JJ's ultimate continually, using arrows and hawk shots from Turtle, even something like Equalizer or Keen's pressure. FlyQuest kind of know the different things that their comp and their cooldowns can do, and they're doing a nice job staying proactive and pressuring CLG.
Yeah, you know, they show like a good understanding of tempo, and that's one of the things that St. Vicious was talking about in his interviews. You're talking about the fact that he feels many pros do not have a solid understanding of what tempo is, of how long it takes to get places on the map, of how long it takes to kill turrets and get objectives. And he felt his team has a strong understanding of that, and that was one of the big things he actually credited for his team being able to win a lot of these crazy trades. They understand that, okay, it's going to take us X amount of time to kill off the base, X amount of time to charge this inhibitor. This team is being too slow. We can get that trade. We can get that advantage, and they're kind of trying to showcase that here once again.
Still up 4K. CLG, actually both teams being pretty stubborn here in the mid lane, wanting to take down that outer turret. The Rift Herald's off the board, of course. CLG already took it for the bottom outer. So no easy way to get it here with plenty of wave clear protecting here as well.
And if CLG can just kind of keep it into this sort of ARAM style game where they're both farming it out, they're going to feel pretty good. But Flame is TPing in, or here they come.
Oh, good equalizer there as well. Flame with the flank. Here comes Keen. Realm Warp in. They've already got one. They've taken out Stixay. And now they're going to try and get the combo back here. But
nice Devour.
Mid-air flight Devour. Going to save Keen from the Going Assault.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Flame with the flank ultimate there, and Keen TPing in on the side. FlyQuest able to get another nice kill, taking down Stixay, who didn't have the flash from that earlier play, right? So again, forcing that out. It was the previous equalizer from Flame when he came mid that they got Stixay's flash. As soon as the equalizer's up again, they go mid, they get a kill. That is really textbook League of Legends. That is very good stuff to see. There's so many times where you see teams force out a summoner, never capitalize off of it. FlyQuest does so here, and they're going to be able to even get the turret. They're getting the top turret. They're pressing on all sides. CLG just feels like they're kind of rolling over.
And this is, again, the thing that really impresses me about FlyQuest. They do not play flashy, they do things by the book, but the way they react and how quickly they're willing to do things like this is what impresses me.
Yeah, and I didn't see Flame at the top side of the screen in the first play, and it was actually the Rise TPing in, as I said. So Flame in position, hits the equalizer, they get the kill. A beautiful Devour there from JJ, saving his teammate from that ultimate from Raidover, and FlyQuest just feel like they're doing everything a little bit better than CLG. It really is the lone bright spot of Stixay right now. I think for CLG, who's kind of holding even-ish, but even for him, if there's not additional threats, it becomes so difficult to actually stay safe because everyone is focusing their resources on you. So Huhi needs to scale up, become a threat. Darshan needs to scale up and really become tanky enough that he can kind of withstand some of the punishment that FlyQuest is putting out.
Gold lead growing here for FlyQuest. Closing in on 6,000 here with another Drake spawning in a minute. 55 Arrow!
No.
Nails Darshan out of the TP and 3 collapse. Darshan nowhere good to go except the fountain. Wild Turtle gonna grab it.
That feels so bad. The 6-minute teleport cooldown, it does get canceled, but still it's such a long cooldown on this patch. Not only do you go down, you waste the TP. Flame still has his available, and FlyQuest again getting an advantage. CLG trying to get some vision around Baron. Worried about any potential Baron attempts off of that from FlyQuest, but for now, FlyQuest looks like they're happy to just continue farming, take their pick, and just continue pressuring on the map.
I like that you say worried about Baron attempts, because I do agree with you, but for a second there, I thought it was going to be the opposite. Just rush the Baron, because CLG have to be getting frustrated.
The 4-man Baron attempt at 21 minutes, with 7,000 behind.
With a TP-less trigger?
Yeah,
seems good.
That would be pretty bold.
I mean,
but at a certain point, even you talk about playing to win, at a certain point, your 5% play becomes your the best chance to win, right? And CLG are not there yet.
No.
But they are, they are getting closer and closer. When you're down 7K, when you're down in Infernal, when you're losing on all sides in a game like this, you are looking at slimmer and slimmer margins the longer the game goes, because FlyQuest is farming both sides of the jungle oftentimes. They're getting advantages on all sides, and that just gets tougher and tougher and tougher. You're running a one true tank composition here. Trundle is exceptionally strong into one-tank teams because it essentially turns the Trundle into super tank himself while shredding Darshan. So CLG need to make a play. They need to find something.
JJ's at it again.
Down to the bot side.
Darshan, who's still got no flash, by the way.
Oops, on Turtle, though.
Devour lined up. Turtle, though, steps out of there. They wait their time, and FlyQuest again playing so clean.
Yeah, very well done. Right as Darshan respawns, he heads down to bottom lane. He gets ulted on, taken out. Stoneplay pops.
Oh, nice equalizer going to cut him off.
That was so good.
Well, Stixay Huhi about to get womboed out. Flame, flash forward, takes down Huhi. Stixay going to burn down as well. JJ saves Flame, and FlyQuest make it look so good up against CLG.
That equalizer from Flame was incredible, completely cut off. Their only escape path, there was no win situation there for CLG. They can't go forward and fight. They're walking back through the equalizer, getting absolutely shredded, and Keen following up. with that Realm War, FlyQuest just take everything. And it was only a couple minutes ago I said they're not there yet for that 5% play. I think if you're CLG, you're ready to flip that coin. You're ready to take that low percentage play because double Infernal, 10,000 gold lead, 23 minutes in is getting very bleak.
And again, think about the decisiveness, that last little call there from FlyQuest. Bot inhibitor turret goes down, instantly back away. You know you don't have time to take that in here. So just go take the trade.
I can't really remember the last time I saw so many effective equalizers. Flame has been really on point, being very proactive. With this, you see once again JJ ulting them down to the bottom lane. The Abyssal Voyage comes in. It is on Wild Turtle, which makes it a little bit harder to pull off, but does get devoured up. Spat back into Wild Turtle. They take him down. Then the push comes in. Watch this equalizer from Flame. It's just picture perfect. They have to retreat through that. 6 has to flash into the equalizer to try to get out. There was no escape for CLG. No way to win that fight from that position. And JJ, even adding insult to injury, saves Flame up. They clean 4 kills for 0. Another turret. FlyQuest, we wanted the clean win, and they are giving it to us.
Certainly. Personally, I would love to know how long JJ's ult has been up since he had it, because it feels like almost never, using it at pretty much every available opportunity. Again, FlyQuest in general, just playing the map well and being so proactive and aware of their cooldowns. It is wonderful to watch as Keen going to get the top side started once again. Flame also threatening with the TP, with the ulti onto that open exposed inhibitor. And CLG are left to do basically this. Hide in a brush in their jungle and put your palms together.
Yep, again, it's the 5% play. You're looking for something. It's hiding in a brush. It's hoping they throw a Baron. It's hoping that, you know, the wheels kind of completely fall off. For FlyQuest, not just once, but twice or 3 times or 4 times. Really to kind of get back into this.
He did it again!
Pressing the ult. Looks like Cho'Gath is going to die.
As the flash this time does use it to dodge the arrow.
Moral victory. He escaped.
Bigger problems. CLG have almost lost their whole base.
Yep, that is definitely a problem. They lost that bot lane inhibitor tower earlier, and now the full Baron vision control is kind of coming into effect here for FlyQuest. You can see so many wards around that area.
Here we
They're
go.
going to run more straight into the pit and right onto it. That ward is disabled by their pink, and Rainover does know it's happening. This would be a way in for CLG if they can steal it. Let's see.
This equalizer is so juicy. He's going to find it under 2. Flame is just going to find it out. They're looking to finish Baron. And FlyQuest do it. Flame, he is going to fall, but a worthy sacrifice.
Yeah, that's what I call dying for the team there from Flame. He takes away any chance of a 50-50. He gives up his life, but he guarantees the Baron, and that is good stuff from Flame. Really heads-up play, making sure Rainover has no chance of getting into the pit, no chance of fighting through him and stealing away that Baron, because that was really the only way back in for CLG. So for FlyQuest, double Infernal, Baron buff available. When Flame respawns, I really do think you can march it down and potentially just end the game.
At this point, it just feels like you look at the Baron timer, that's the amount of time FlyQuest have to win this game. They are so far ahead. Everything is going their way, and Keen's going to start the party off early by trudging down bot lane here and moving the minions in.
And for the side of CLG, you know, the only hope that they have is getting a pick which delays the Baron buff, right? If you can get an immediate kill early on in the Baron buff, if someone is splitting away from the team, you pick someone off, maybe FlyQuest has to back up, maybe you can't actually get that. But that is why FlyQuest is walking around as a team. They're kind of converging on where Keen is. Look at all the pink wards now on this side of the map. This is where they want to push. 3 pinks immediately down. FlyQuest is really doing a good job prepping their vision. There was so many pinks on the other side of the map. Now they move 3 over here. They have 5 on the map. They have full vision control. It's so hard for CLG from that spot to really find a way to get in.
You can see Keen sets up the siege pink there. Gets the minions going. FlyQuest have the timing almost perfect on these waves in mid and bot lane.
And top lane's pushing as well, right? So you can potentially just rotate up as that wave stacks. Baron buff it up. Send Flame up to the top lane even. And 3 waves of Baron minions coming in becomes so incredibly tough. Here at them going for the pick.
Look at Keen. They do knock him back, but he's actually reasonably tanky, getting bounced around. He's going to pop the realm up. Keen shut down just barely by Stixxay.
And that's what CLG needed, because FlyQuest did not have the minions in position to actually pressure on that turret to go for a dive. So all the credit to CLG there. They pull off a good play, get the pick on Keen, and that is the sort of thing that you need to look to delay this out, to buy time, because if Flame was pushing at the same time on the top side, if that mid lane was being pushed in at the same time, you would not be able to kind of go for that play unpunished. Instead, they find the window. Keen gets shut down, but he does have TP, and there's still a minute 20 on the buff.
It's a small one, but it is really the first obvious misstep we've seen this game from FlyQuest. CLG, again, just trying to keep them away from their base and their inhibitors safe.
Yeah, I mean, the longer you delay, the better you're feeling about this game, but it is a long, long road for CLG to come back in this one. And a third Infernal is going to be spawning in a minute. That is so hard to win. I don't know what the percentage of games you win are when the opponents have triple Infernal, but I'm willing to bet it's like 10% or less, and that's you know, not even considering all of the gold lead there. So FlyQuest pushing up here. Keen has TP'd back out, and they're still trying to pressure with the Baron.
He's actually doing a decent job poking at Darshan here, but again, just the real price is these turrets, all this inhibitor placed in bot lane.
Yeah, Turtle wants to step forward and get shots onto this turret, but it is very hard. So for now,
hey,
they're going.
Flash there from Xantoran trying to chomp down Huhi. That should be enough space to take down inhib #1. Bot side does fall.
Yeah, they're going to knock that down. Another well-placed equalizer there from Flame. Gets the flash, gets them the inhibitor. And with 10 seconds on the Baron buff, I think they just retreat back to the Infernal. Looks like that's where they're going to head. Oh, they're actually
red buff.
Stealing the red buff. Oh my god, poor Rainover. So they're going to push top. They can always retreat back to the Infernal. For now, I think they're kind of just trying to set a trap and see if anyone comes, but definitely don't want to see FlyQuest giving this up. You need to see them being prepared, but Turtle does have TP, could get back down there. You do want to secure the third Infernal. You want to maintain that neutral objective advantage because that is so huge, having 24% additional AP and AD.
A few steps ahead there for FlyQuest, it feels like. Fortunately for them, they won't get anything extra other than the Drake they were almost guaranteed to get. But still a nice move again. JJ being proactive, uses the ult. No, he's not going to need it. So its cooldown is back up. So FlyQuest able to continue their pressure, threaten another inhibitor, but back off and just take the Drake when that doesn't work out.
Yeah, and CLG wanted to walk 5-man strong into the Dragon Pit and hope for a miracle fight, but you saw as soon as they saw Turtle up on the top side, that is like flashbacks to all the base trade type games from Wild Turtle and from FlyQuest, so they did not have the confidence to go into that. They decided to base, they decided to defend. Hey, we're trying to play for late, you're trying to play for scaling, but it's trying to do this very, very uphill battle, right? All the cards are stacked against them.
Gave it, we talked about the 5-cent play at some point. I think we're well past that point. I'm not going to put a number on it, but it is low.
Yeah, I mean, I give them maybe 5% chance to win this game. You could maybe win this game 1 in 20 times, right? But that
4.99.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. but it's a tough one, right? And when you're looking at like a 5% game that's no longer in your hands, it's down to your opponents to really make repeated mistakes to kind of slowly claw your way back in, because the only way you win this game is if it goes incredibly late. And that is going to take a lot of mistakes, a lot of missteps, as well as a lot of great plays from CLG.
Continued diligence though from FlyQuest. Again, Turtle using that hook shot. Just looking for CLG because he knows when you're 5% to win, your options are very limited.
Yeah.
The Turtle just making sure to shut those down as well.
And it's tough. I mean, 6A was kind of that lone bright spot, staying more or less even, but now it's Wild Turtle on 4 completed items. You can see that 6A is on 2 and a couple of pieces. When he hits that Hurricane, when he hits that IE, when he hits that true late game, maybe he could shred through a fight if they can protect him long enough, but he's not at that point just yet. He needs more time, so it's going to be up to the CLG squad to try to wave clear, try to look for something as FlyQuest comes in 5-man strong.
Arrow again finds good equalizer once more by Flame, going to cut off the back line. FlyQuest though just looking for the turret. Darshan low, Turtle flashes forward, of course! Takes down Darshan, that's going to open up the mid inhib.
And they could potentially just end this. I mean, that's the tank down. Super minions are there from the bottom lane. They are onto these Nexus turrets.
Straightforward is FlyQuest. We asked for a clean win, and it seems like they will deliver. CLG fighting, desperate in their base to try and keep their Nexus up, but it looks like it is all for naught. Flame flashes forward, gonna burn down 6A. CLG retreating to the fountain. Rainover dead, Nexus exposed, and FlyQuest will end their week with a win.
FlyQuest just absolutely dominating here against CLG, picking up another win for themselves. Looking really strong in the second half. Another win on the weekend, 2-0. And they are, essentially all but guaranteed to get into playoffs now. That, again, 9 wins, has never missed playoffs before. They still have 2 games remaining, and they have one of the easier schedules going into next week. FlyQuest is going to play Golden Guardians. Then Cloud9, who is on a hot streak, but they should be in the playoffs now. It's not guaranteed just yet, but still very impressive stuff from them. Pretty clinical from FlyQuest, start to finish. Very impressed with Flame in particular, was monstrous on the Rumble. His equalizers were so good. JJ and Turtle were everywhere. I mean, it was a whole team effort.
And the future is very bright for FlyQuest. I mean, we have not just, probably in playoffs given the win, but playing for potentially a very good seed. They actually get to play card down here. They are now tied with, alongside Echo Fox, to maybe play up towards something as good as third, which is, I don't think, something we expect. FlyQuest did make playoffs last split, so it's been a pretty big improvement to potentially make it to top 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's been absolutely enormous. Their kind of meteoric rise from spring to summer. They've got so much better. Their roster swaps, I think, were incredibly effective, and they are looking really, really good.
Certainly are. And to get more on that game, we're going to send it down to Ovely May and the FlyQuest support.
Thanks, guys. JJ, congratulations on that victory. A 2-0 weekend for FlyQuest. What did you think of your performance as well as the team's?
I think yesterday we had a lot of troubles in closing out the game. I think that one should have been a little cleaner. But I think today we looked for a lot more opportunities, and we went over our game from yesterday and looked over our mistakes and fixed a lot of them for today and played a lot better.
And today you were pulling off all of these crazy saves and bringing your team in to where you needed them. So how are you coordinating all of this?
Well, a lot of the time it's just about looking at people who are isolated. So a lot of the time I'll just be staring at my mini-map and then looking for people who are out of place. And then usually from that we can get a free flash or whatever. And then also I'll tell whoever I want to ult in, like, look at me, like, I'm going to go, and then we'll just go.
You guys are sitting pretty at 9 wins coming into the last week before playoffs, but you know your spot isn't secured yet. So are you guys feeling the pressure?
Yeah, I think today was the most nervous I've been for a game in since Academy finals last split. So there's definitely a lot of pressure on us to perform and try to get good seeding for playoffs, and then hopefully go in the gauntlet and make a run for Worlds.
Well, let's touch on that. What's it like for you going from Academy finals to potentially playoffs for the summer split?
When I joined the team, I wasn't sure how well we would do because the team did kind of poorly last split, and I didn't think that we necessarily might have what it takes. But I think we've been gelling really well, and as well as with Saint coming in, he knows a lot about the game, and we've been kind of developing our own play style, and it's working out really well for us.
You have to give yourself more credit, because remember when Saint came in and when you came in, FlyQuest started up on the win streak. But JJ, congratulations and thank you so much. And to wrap up the day, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. FlyQuest picking up another win to move to 9-7. Again, keeping that playoff picture and the race for the final 6 spots that much more interesting. A very clean win over CLG here. When we talked about teams that didn't make the top 6 last split and what they needed to do to kind of give us a little bit more confidence coming into the postseason here in summer, it was all about the cleanliness of the wins, right? Making the wins decisive and the losses close. You can't ask for anything more decisive than this, really.
Yeah, this was just FlyQuest kind of beating up on CLG all game. I like their comp a lot. It's a pretty standard comp, with the one kind of wrinkle being the Rumble up in the top lane to counter the Cho'Gath, as well as the fact that you're up against a double immobile backline means you're probably going to get some good Rumble ults over the course of this game. The Orianna pick was a little weird to me because traditionally you see Ryze as a counter pick to Orianna, as like a soft counter.
Right.
And so I was surprised to see who he take that one.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, COG had initiation in all 5 positions. They had a ton of CC, but FlyQuest kept the map spread out when they wanted it spread out and collapsed when they wanted to collapse. So they, like Mark said, beat up on COG.
That's the key, right? And Avli had even, asked JJ about it. Where did these clean engages in the grouping come from? And it's all about looking for isolated members, but with 5 engage tools on the side of CLG, it was more often FlyQuest, the team, actually pulling off the engagements.
Right, and the map mobility on display there for this first blood, just being able to wrap around, and then they kept finding people in the side lanes. This one was initiated by Turtle himself when they kind of saw Darshan pushing and everyone else collapses, but a lot of them were JJ as well, being able to ult people around the map and get these things kicked off for his team. Darshan in particular was the one who was getting the most taken out on him because they have a 1-3-1 comp with the Ryze, and you don't really have anyone who wants to match in the side lanes that well, and so you saw FlyQuest just abusing the comp advantage.
And I would say JJ probably had more Tom Kench ults per minute than any other Tom Kench we've seen in the game.
We're gonna add that stat.
Yeah.
To the
we actually can track that.
That's
I'm gonna go check in our doc later. But
that'd be very interesting.
That's a very nice Rumble ult as well. Who Flame had been nailing.
Flame had a number of very solid Rumble ultimates, topping the damage charts there. Turtle just behind Tim. But overall, again, that's the picture of a gold graph that you want to see for a team nearing the end of the season.
Yeah, the best game I think FlyQuest has played this as you talked about at the start of the segment, was not a FlyQuest team that had convincing victories. Now, we have to couch this statement a little bit because Counter Logic Gaming extends their loss streak to 8.
Yep.
But this was still a good win for FlyQuest.
I think this is exactly what you want to see out of a FlyQuest team going up against a bit of a dead-eyed CLG.
Yeah.
I think is the way to put it, where it just doesn't feel like there was any fight in this game. You know, they, like Jet said, they had all these tools, and then they finally pushed the go button once after FlyQuest already had Baron, and they easily picked off the Rise. And it was like, well, where was this for the first 25 minutes of the game?
Right. Easiest schedule of all teams in the last 4 games. They already beat Clutch. They've beaten CLG. Next week, they kick it off with Golden Guardians. We'll look for them to do exactly the same thing against that squad before they have probably their biggest test over the 2 weekends against Cloud9. And I think that'll be a really telling match only because of how well Cloud9 is playing so recently that it becomes, you know, a very uphill battle. A lot of people will probably favor Cloud9 in that matchup, even though they're equivalent in standing.
Yeah, and even with 100 Thieves dropping a game and Echo Fox dropping a game and Liquid being at 11 wins, playoff buys are actually reachable if you really take care of business down the stretch. We have a very tight pack of teams in the top 7.
Yeah, and it's still just like a playoff preview. You never know if these guys actually meet each other at some point, if they, you know, depending on how.
Right, we haven't even talked about the seeding and the matchups that would therefore, you know, result from it. But when it comes down to the playoff race, some players bust out the Pocket Assassins, and others save their ultimates for the big plays. But then there are the players who use every key to set up an ally, just to say, I'm helping. Presented by State Farm. Now, in this game versus CLG, JJ makes sure his team gets what they need on every part of the map.
Yeah, such a good Tom Kench ultimate to get the dive in right off the bat. Then again, you get to see him from
this was a creative one
all the way into red. Haven't seen many people
on red spawn,
if anyone, do that. Really,
I love it. Yeah, using the ult for counter jungle, you almost only see it for rotations between lanes. That was a good use there for an actual objective. And then here, the eke out of the knockback was another super impressive play out of JJ. Definitely a big bounce back game for him because we had him on the desk. I think it was
Zazel.
That's not quite right.
That's not quite right.
There we go. Hey.
Quick fingers. I like it.
But yeah, JJ was on the desk with us last week talking about how he had a Tom Kench game and it took him like 20 minutes to figure out I should be ulting into side lanes.
Right.
And then he said, like, Saint's going to have some choice words for me in VOD review. Looks like he heard those words because that was a great Tom Kench game.
Yeah, as you said, using it on cooldown, definitely catching CLG out. I love the ingenious usage of it as well in that jungle to kind of both steal the buff away, starve the opposing jungle out of some XP. It's great. Now, looking at today's predictions, though, you two did not do so great.
What happened today?
Less great.
Hey, they kept my TSM.
No.
Wait a second. Okay. We're gonna have to make another.
I don't know about that.
No. I was witness to this. So.
Do we have any proof? Is there?
Yes.
Is there any proof I can get?
The proof is me.
Record
sitting
everything.
Here, all right, as the unbiased party.
Unbiased. You will do anything to make us look bad.
That's true. But then I'm equally biased against both of you.
That's true.
All right. Yeah. So in that equal bias, I will say that preceding the TSM 100 Thieves game, Mark actually rescinded his TSM vote. Wanted to flip-flop over to 100 Thieves because of the way the day was going.
You for that,
Did you see that game? Much confidence
thank you
in
for
it.
the flip-flop.
So in reality, both of them close out the day at 1-4. They can thank FlyQuest for giving them that one victory.
Thank you, FlyQuest.
But guys, I mean, I think if anything, that's a perfect encapsulation of what this split has been so far. Because as we believe things are figured out, as we believe things are becoming more rigid in the standings, and you've got separation between the top 3 and the next 3, and then the bottom 4. It all goes out the window again, and as you mentioned, the playoff buys are now hanging in the balance.
The top 3 teams in the LCS lost today.
That's about all she wrote.
And the top 2 analysts in the NALCS lost today.
That's
going to do it for us here on the desk, which means it's time to toss it over to Freak, Azael, and Pobelter for NALCS Tonight.
Hello, welcome to NALCS Tonight. I am indeed Freak. Azael's on the far side, but Pobelter, the man of the day. Pobelter, how you doing?
I'm all right. Okay.
It was a doozy today.
Doozy of a
Yeah.
day.
It was a BG.
Yeah, it was a BG for sure.
Still in first, I'm pretty sure.
Still
So I
first.
mean, still the best team in North America, still the best mid laner in North America, still the most handsome person on the NES tonight.
There you go. And like
I
you
mean-
said, the only reason they lost because you've been practicing for Silent Speedway all week.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
So guaranteed first place.
Yeah, I told my team we have to cancel scrims. I got to practice Science Speedway. So
Yeah.
I'm practicing really hard for
Yeah.
this, even though we lost today. I think
Yeah,
I
I
can
mean, you
redeem
couldn't
myself
beat Golden
here.
Glow in Summoner's Rift, but you can beat him here, maybe. Is how
Yeah,
this
I heard
gonna
he's
go.
the record setter for this.
He is the record
so-
setter. So it's time to get revenge, or he's going to beat you twice the same
I'm going to
day.
beat your record, Golden Glue. My
right.
Scion ulting is better.
Let's hope that even happens. Now, of course, we have a quick look at the playoff picture after Week 8. Here are our standings. As we said, TL in first, 100 Thieves, Echo Fox each a game behind, and a giant cluster at 3. I should say at third place, Echo Fox, C9, FlyQuest all there. Optic, TSM can still make it in. Of course, one of those teams is for sure, or one of these teams in that sort of tie over there is, of course, for sure not going to make it. And we're going to see how that one goes. Walter, what do you see in this sort of set of standings? Anything surprising you so far?
Nope, seems pretty accurate. Wait, so
You're not surprised by FlyQuest doing this well in Summer Split?
Also,
you know, I guess kind of.
They were like
They
8th or 9th,
They
right?
were not doing
they were
hot,
8th last
but
split,
yeah, they got their stuff together, and yeah, I guess a lot of people expected them to not do so well coming into this
Yeah.
split, but I guess they just kind of found their footing, and oh wow, so one of those teams won't make it, or two of those teams?
Yeah, because there's 5 teams at 3 through 7, and of course only 4 can be 3 through 6. So one of that big group of 5 is not going to go. Echo Fox, C9, FlyQuest, TSM, or Optic. One of those is out.
Okay, that sucks for them.
Yeah, they will not lose to you in semifinals because they won't even be there.
Okay.
You'll win.
Feeling confident to lock in first still?
Yeah, still feeling pretty good. Actually, who do we play next week? We play, I think, TSM.
Yeah, TSM's your last game.
And
I don't remember the other one. It's either way, it's going to be free wins.
I think Echo
regardless.
Fox. I think Echo Fox. I think it'll actually be a tough last
schedule.
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. Echo Fox
It is Echo Fox. I've got it
it.
confirmed in my ear. So 2 a week, easy, first place.
Hope so. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Of course, now it is time for Science Speedway. It's the part of the show where we put our pro players to the test on a makeshift track around Summoner's Rift. Pobelter, you mentioned having to beat Golden Glue. You're seeing the standings here on your screen. Where are you going to be? How are you going to do?
He got 44 seconds. Someone told me he got 42. I think I'll place like top, top 5 maybe. If I
5?
don't make any mistakes, it's a best of 1.
You
so
just can't
anything could happen.
lose to Biofrost, right?
Yeah.
Biofrost is down in the depths.
Oh yeah, his was the one I actually watched like when I was like studying this, and then I was
That's
like, wow,
not-
that's really
yeah.
easy to beat.
Afros was pretty tragic too, actually, last week.
Yeah.
He hit a lot of walls.
I can definitely get below 50 seconds. That's
All
a
right.
guarantee.
You've got to beat Caps, though, so that you can be ahead of Europe.
Okay.
In preparation for Worlds, you've got to be able to beat Europe. All right, Pobelter, head on up there. I need you
Good luck.
I need you to make top 4.
All right, will do.
You got to beat those European mid laners.
May it go better than the Oriana game today.
Hope so.
That's true. At least that one was short. Much
At least
like
I
hopefully
can't die
Science
in this
Speedway
one.
time.
Okay,
Sure.
so I just resume and then I can go?
Yeah, I'll count you in if that's okay.
You can use each active
Yeah, so
one
yeah,
time,
resume.
summoners one
Slash
time.
resume, I guess, when you're ready.
Okay.
And then I'll count you in.
All right.
Good luck.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Oh, I guess that's counting you in. So I guess you just go on that.
Good start. He's going the low way around. I think a lot of the best times people have done that.
Ooh, that might be a penalty out of bounds.
Is that a penalty?
That might be.
Like
That might be 1 second.
penalty or something, but we'll see
Yikes.
if he can make it up. There's still a lot of room to make it up. We're gonna pop the summoners here and the actives. That's where a lot of people have really decided to use them, but I still maintain the toughest part of the course is actually dodging the target dummies and then the kind of corner after Baron.
All right, well, here we go. Here's the target dummy action. He's going to get around through Scuttle.
Let's see how he
Doesn't
handles
get
the corner.
that good of a turn up.
Well, there's the Predator, and he is doing pretty well around that corner. He's definitely
Oh, didn't get the bounce, though.
definitely not Biofrost time, but I don't know if
definitely
he's
not Golden Glue
not Golden
time.
Glue time either. So
I like that short turn, though, to go up this way, though. It is.
Oh, what I get?
Bam.
47-ish. We'll get the official
Yeah.
time,
Alright.
but
Well,
it
it
looks
was
like
below
47
50.
something. It was
Yeah.
below 50.
I don't know if that counts once like a penalty, though, for out of bounds
Oh,
in the
that's
first
true.
turn.
So he might be 48 and a half
yeah.
or so.
Still better than Biofrost. Probably better than
By
me.
like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's better than me. Probably worse than you. Come back when you're ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good.
He's looking for the run back. He's trying to go again.
Yeah.
So didn't beat Golden Glue,
No.
but you did beat Biofrost for sure.
Yeah, in Scion Speedway playoffs, I can definitely redeem myself.
Oh, you're not even top 10?
Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Perennially a top 10 NA, but
Well, at least I beat Huhi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. That's something.
And
You beat
Solo and
Solo,
Otto.
you beat Otto, you beat Yankos, Aftermove.
yeah.
And
A lot of
Biofrost
ex-teammates
to
down
bottom.
there, you know.
Wow,
you're ahead
Mark
of me.
Z got 53 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah, he's the
I mean, you're flaming
analyst, by the way.
Biofrost, a full-time professional player, barely beat Mark Z.
He's a support. He's probably never played Sion in his life before.
Sion has a good win rate at support.
Oh, well.
Not a good play rate, but it's like 53.
You know, it's fine. Top 11, counting some of those EU mids, you know, I think it's passable. He's still a good person. Now, over the course of the weekend, you took...
when you have the result of that, he's a nice guy. How good is football?
That's what I say. It's like, look, he's garbage as Sion, but you know, look at that beautiful smiling face. He's a good person.
You are not.
That's true. Over the course of the weekend, you at home took Twitter in order to call out the most epic moments of Week 8. We're going to highlight some of those big plays right now, brought to you by Acer Predator. Our first tweet comes from Ranger True, shouting out Optic's play around the Elder Dragon to take the game against Echo Fox. And this was actually a pretty nutty game. They tried to do the Fiora counter pick, and they get in there, the Kindred ult on the Dragon, and then...
This was the Draven last hit, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was actually pretty insane. Arrow, I believe, off of his Adoration stacks, got 1,500 gold when he cashed in.
Oh yeah, that was
so
pretty
many
juicy
stacks.
to see mid.
Yeah.
It was like 25 minutes of just farming, and then he got the cash in.
Yeah.
Actually, so many Kindred, that's happening so much, like everywhere in the world, Kindred just flashing in and ulting to just force the 50-50 on objectives. So
That's the new thing.
It even happened like twice today. It happened in the
But both
TSM
times,
game
I
today.
don't think it actually worked, because in that case, he like the other guy, like I think he couldn't get the smite afterwards, and then the second time it happened, the opponent didn't actually smite. I think he held it. So both times it didn't really work, but it was still like, it was pretty cool.
Because everyone knows it's a play now. Like the
they're
new meta
expecting it
game on
more.
Kindred is walk in the pit and smite.
No
one's gonna expect
it. Say. That's the next level where you hop in and they're just like, oh, of course he's gonna ult, and then they don't smite and you just press it. But I guess it has to be that low. So
Yep. Just saying, if you want to bring like spellbook smite, you just outsmite your Kindreds. And
Oh my god, that actually almost happened to us.
Afro
Afro move flashing in the pit, and we were like, what was this idiot thinking? He just flashed in his bomb into the pit. He's trying to steal it, and then we all saw he had smite, and he was like, oh, that was really close.
So he's got that wrinkly brain there for that one. Now, game 3 of the afternoon saw an epic battle between TSM and 100 Thieves, and Brian Whitley praised Haunser's game-winning Gragas ultimate.
Just go Nelly, just go Nelly. Slowly. Go on, Mundo. Mundo, slowly. Go, Mundo. I'm slowing him. We kill. Nice. Very slow splash. You win that. Go on, Ash. Ash. Nice. Speeding us. Nice. Defend the base. Zillion back. Zillion back now.
Yeah, that was actually a good ultimate.
Yeah, it split everyone up. Actually, the really curious part was, it didn't show in the replay, but Ryu died somehow before that. Like, the situation right before that was they had gotten a free kill on someone on TSM side, and then Ryu just, like, died off screen to Zillion Bomb.
Yeah, double Zillion Bomb, like, randomly.
Yeah, and then they just had to fight the 4v4.
And they had no ults, if I recall correctly. 100 Thieves had used all their ults, and Zillion ult is, like, no cooldown, so it came back up.
Yeah, Mundo just got one shot, pretty much.
Yeah,
Double Lift was saying the whole time, like, Versus build is so bad. And then eventually he just got full build, and it didn't matter, I think, and then he just one-shot Mundo.
Yeah, I mean, when you have IE, Rageblade, Blade of Rune King, and he's just everything, just insta-kill.
Yeah, burn through that guy. So, of course, that was pretty good. Thank you all for the submissions. Remember to keep tweeting us your favorite big plays using hashtag #NALCS. Now, earlier in the day, we asked the fans to submit their Twitter questions, and we're here to answer them as well. So our first one is from Chris Christensen, who asks, we've seen summoner spells buffed and nerfed a ton lately in an attempt to see meta changes, but Flash remains the same and incredibly powerful. Is there a world where the cooldown is nerfed, Ghost is buffed, or something else, we finally see a change to it? How do you feel about Flash being in like every game?
I think I remember reading like years ago on the forum, like one of the lead game developers said that League at this point is just balanced entirely around Flash. So I think that's going to be a constant no matter what. Like Flash is just going to be the same, and probably every other summoner spell will be balanced around that. I think I saw Ghost buffs on PBE a while ago, but they never went through. Ghost is kind of tricky too. Like mobility in general, if it's too strong, then everyone just takes it. Like there was that meta at Worlds a few years ago where mid laners just went Flash Ghost every single game. Yeah.
And every first gank was just mid laner pressing Ghost and running away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
trying to run up on Gragas.
It's tough because it's like, for me, I like Flash being in the game because I think it's the most exciting summoner, right? As far as like playmaking ability and things that you can actually do. And there's so many champs that feel so dependent. It's like Malphite without Flash ultimate, like just kind of wanders in at you, and like, you know, there's a lot of champions I feel like that are pretty garbage for their engage.
But if no one has Flash, Malphite just like
Malphite would be the most broken
right?
character if no one had Flash. Malphite would just be able to.
If he's out of vision, but if he's like walking slowly towards you, you're just kind of walking slowly away. I don't know. I mean, I like the playmaking ability of it, but yeah.
I think the game is more fun when everyone does have Flash. Like, it definitely stuffs ganks, right? When you're like trying to kill someone, they just say nope. But yeah, I think it actually increases the skill cap of the game.
Yeah, in general, it just promotes more aggression than passivity.
Cool. Then yeah, that's probably a good thing for the game. Our next question is from Delfina Pereira, who wants to know if TSM is finally getting better, and if so, how do you feel about going against them in the last match of the season?
I think they've just always played the same sort of way the whole season, actually, where they just play super safe and they make like a couple aggressive plays, but for the most part, their focus is just trying to make as little mistakes as possible. So, when it works, they just like slowly creep up their lead and then win in late game or whatever. When it doesn't, it kind of looks like they're just not doing anything, and the enemy team is just like beating them and they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, even the 100 Thieves game where they were way ahead, they could have easily lost that game, with like a big goalie, with all the dragons.
It's 4 dragons, like 6,000 gold up.
Yeah, it was really dragging on a while. So yeah, they're a pretty safe team overall, and I don't know, it just feels like they've been the same the whole time.
That's fair. Are you gonna smash them? Game 18?
I hope so. I think if we get 1 win, then we get a bye. I'm not sure.
You're right now 2 games ahead of 3rd place, so I'm pretty sure if you win 1 or Echo Fox loses 1, or like that whole group, but yeah, I think you're pretty much 1 win away from a bye. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's true. We can verify that later. Either way, though, thank you for those questions. Our 3rd one comes from Harris Gaming, who wants to know how you think World's going to go for TL. He thinks you're already going. No one who's ever won Spring has missed Worlds, so I think it's pretty likely for you guys. And you're almost set up for the playoff bye as well, so going is really likely. How's Worlds going to go for TL?
Well, don't want to jump to conclusions or
But you're going to Worlds. As the first seed, winning Summer Split.
It's a potential.
3-0, 3-0.
We could.
Yeah.
I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch.
Sure, I understand.
We're just going to focus on winning next week. If we can win next week, that's great. We're going to get a bye, and then that'll set us up for a good playoffs run. If we do well in playoffs, maybe we can make it to Worlds. That's my point of view. I'm not thinking that far ahead yet.
Okay, I got a different question then. How's World Finals going to go for TL?
I think we'll meet. Who else could beat?
Who would you most like to beat in the World Final?
Griffin. That would be
Griffin.
So cool.
You want to?
Yeah.
I would actually be super hyped about that.
You don't want the double NA finals?
Just bring Echo Fox up with you. You get your rematch with Golden Glue. You can rematch Golden Glue in the finals.
You can beat Griffin in the semifinals.
Yeah.
And then the true test, Golden Glue in the finals.
But he wants to win Worlds, though. He wants to win Worlds, though.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Jensen or something.
It's got to be Griffin.
Yeah. All right. I like that. Thank you very much. And finally, Aries wonders if Powalter would ever change his in-game name.
I thought about it like a few years ago. Like, my name. What if I pick something cooler? Like, I don't know.
What if?
Trying to think of something cool, but I couldn't think of anything cool. But what if? But then I've just had this name for so long now, I'll probably never change it.
What were you like considering though? Like when you're like, what's a cool name I can come up with? Like back in 2014 or whatever.
I don't even remember. It wasn't really even that serious either.
Trukilla XX.
Trukilla XXX.
Mid-owner.
Mid-owner.
200 IQ.
Mid-owner 420.
That's a good one.
That better be your next Smurf, by the way.
If you change your name to that, just like instant 1 million followers.
Right. When you go to Korea for Worlds, you're playing solo queue. That's gonna be your Turner Home account.
I feel like Riot might even just like, if I wanted to do that with like seriously, they would just say no, you can't do that.
That's very likely.
That's also very likely.
That's very likely.
But your solo queue game in Korea, mid-owner 666. That's the one. There's only 1 more week of regular season play left. Let's check out the schedule for that week presented by Jersey Mikes. And TL, as we already know, they've got Echo Fox at the beginning of the day, TSM to end their season. And again, there's a gigantic, basically, group of teams between 3rd and 7th trying to make their way in. FlyQuest, TSM, Cloud, and all those ones.
The TSM Optic game is actually so important for both those teams trying to make playoffs. I think that both teams got wins that people weren't necessarily expecting them to get today. TSM beat
100 Thieves and Optic beat
Echo Fox. So it's like now they are really, really kind of on the precipice, and I think whoever wins that is probably going to playoffs.
Yeah. Who's your odd man out? Because you can kind of see the teams right there. Like which one do you think actually fails out, Powalter?
So is it like whichever team is at 9 wins at the end of the weekend will not make it?
Well, I mean, it's anyone between pretty much like Cloud9, FlyQuest, Optic, or TSM. One of them will not make it.
Okay. Dude.
It's tough, right?
It's hard.
Like, I don't know, like maybe Optic or TSM, because they are facing off head-to-head, so it's probable that like one of them is going to lose that, and then so that makes it easier for them to not qualify. Yeah,
it's going to be pretty difficult otherwise. Thank you very much, of course, for your insight on this one. And of course, before we sign off, we have one more test for Powalter. This one, more of a pop quiz. We're bringing back Azale facts instead of Kobe facts. Azale, I think you gonna wanna go join him.
Azale
Or?
Fax
stand up?
says,
Yeah, you're gonna go see him.
Yeah,
and we're gonna quiz you how much you know about, I think, yourself, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be some Azale Fax, as it has been all along.
What happened to Kobe?
We don't talk about Kobe. We don't talk about Kobe. First rule of Azale Fax is we don't talk about Kobe. So the rules are pretty simple. If you have seen Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you have a couple lifelines. You have 50-50. You can phone a friend. And you do have one more, which I am blanking on. What is the
audience?
Audience. You can ask the audience as well. They're all going to be multiple choice questions, and we are going to start right now. If you are ready.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question. What champion was Pobelter playing when the 200 IQ meme was born? Is it A, Orianna, B, Lee Sin, C, Azir, or D, Sion?
It's B, Lee Sin.
It's B,
Final
Lee Sin.
answer.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Okay, you are correct. Congratulations. And we also have a clip of when it was actually born here. And I think we are going to pull that up. We will see.
This is just what I call pure intellect. Look at this. The reason I can land this is because my IQ is 200. Don't try it at home.
Yeah, that is so old, and that's where 200 IQ came from. And I see it like everywhere now on YouTube, like other games, and then like not even applied to video games. It's like, you know, 200 IQ, whatever. And then it's like these people probably don't even know where it came from, who I am. So it's kind of crazy.
You got to trademark it.
Yeah,
you got to
it's
get
kind
some
of crazy
royalties.
to see that it spread that far.
Yeah, it definitely has blown up. So you got the first question. If you get 3 out of 5, we are going to give you a prize. So keep that in mind. We got the second question for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. What champion did Pobelter play in his first professional LAN tournament? Was it A, Gangplank, B, Aurelia, C, Malphite, or D, Sion? And for context, this was 2011
MLG
Rally MLG.
Oh, wow. Can you list the choices again?
It is A, Gangplank, B, Aurelia, C, Malphite, or D, Sion. Remember, you have the help from the audience. You have the 50-50, or you have phone a friend.
I'm feeling, you know, I might not get this one right, but I'm kind of confident on it. I think it's A, Gangplank.
You are correct. Congratulations, 2 for 2. You know your stuff. I'm very impressed. And you still have 3 lifelines remaining. So doing pretty good here. All right, third question. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. How many different teammates has Pobelter had in the NALCS? Is it A, 28, B, 16, C, 36, or D, 21?
Okay, let me think. How many teams have I been on? I was on EG, and then 5 teammates, and then... God, this is so...
Got Winterfox in there. There was roster changes.
Does this include like the 1 week stuff too, where we subbed in our coach Paragon? Does that count? Is that included in there? How did they pull these stats?
Coaches don't count, but people who played in the games would
People
count.
who played in the game.
Yeah.
So it's either A or D. I'm pretty sure because I've had so many different teammates.
It's A or D.
So what was A again? What was the number?
A is 28, B is 16, C is 36, and D is 21.
Oh, okay. So it's A or C.
You have some lifelines available. Could go 50-50, could phone a friend, could ask the audience here.
No, I'm feeling pretty good. I don't need their help. A.
A, final answer?
Final answer.
28, you are correct. 3 for 3. I don't even understand how you know that. You do win a prize, but we're gonna save that to the end. You still have 2 more questions.
All right.
Don't get ahead of yourself. All right, I'm pretty impressed. All right, question number 4, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, what is Pobelter's most played champion in the NALCS? Is it A, Talia, B, Victor, C, Orianna, or D, Sion?
Why is Sion an option for all of these? Like, I was half expecting for the last one. It's like, how many teammates have you played with before? D, Sion.
I mean, I'm not the writer here.
I mean, you were a Sion one-trick beta, right?
Speedway, we got, it's thematic, we got some stuff going on.
Okay, A, Talia.
A, Talia. Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Incorrect.
Oh, it was Orianna.
It was C, Orianna. You have 23 Talia games.
I was trying to block out memories.
22 Victor games and 24 Orianna games.
Oh, if I didn't pick Orianna today.
So there you go.
Did it include today?
I would assume so, but I am not positive.
Maybe I shouldn't have picked Orianna.
So either way,
You played yourself.
Okay.
Okay, we got one more question for you. Final question here. It is number 5. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Which NALCS team has defeated Pobelter the most? Is it A, C9, B, TSM, C, CLG, or D, Coast?
D, Scion. I'd like to phone a friend for this one.
Hello, yeah, friend's phoning in.
Okay.
Before you even asked for it. Yeah,
well, I guess
know you don't think you need any help from anyone, and you're
scripted.
actually crushing it right now.
Before we get
on
into
the
that,
show.
I actually want to chime in because I didn't think that my Scion Speedway time was going to be left up for the whole split. Everyone keeps bagging on it. I didn't practice. I was the only one who didn't.
You can use this.
Don't believe him. He was here for like 6 hours. 6 hours grinding games.
Yeah, no one. I did not practice at all. I just did it
Dash
because I
can
was like, who
vouch. He
cares?
practiced all day.
In the meantime, top-rated caster when it comes to Scion Speedway. Just going to point that out. Yeah.
All right, so
alongside
guys,
it, but
do you have some help here to offer? Which NALCS team has defeated Pobelter the most?
I'm going to be honest. I thought D Scion was the right answer, but apparently not. So
question.
Yeah,
The
I want to
answers
go
are-
for Cloud9 because I feel like it's kind of topical to
With the loss
today
today.
and the lot, and whatnot. But
I think it's definitely between those two teams.
I mean, historically, C9, TSM, the two most
do
winning
losses
orgs,
on
right?
CLG
So-
count as being beaten?
No, I don't think that counts as beating yourself.
Okay. You can't beat yourself.
I would go Cloud9. That's what I would probably suggest.
TSM's been better longer.
That's true.
There's like the periods where they were winning when C9 really wasn't, but one of those two for sure. We can go A.
That's our
let's go with
suggestion.
you.
I don't know if we helped you out at all here.
They think C9. That is A. What do you think?
What are my other two options?
You remember, you still have your other lifelines, so it is
He's gonna go with
A,
anything
C9, B, TSM.
No, I mean, like, what are my other
C-
lifelines?
Oh, you have 50-50 or ask the audience.
I'd like to 50-50 it.
Okay, so your remaining answers that you can choose
And
from
then,
are
sorry,
then-
you told me to prep this, and I'd also like to ask the audience right after.
I'll like the ask the audience too. Okay, so we're gonna have to ask the audience, I guess, between BTSM and CCLG then, because those are the last two remaining after you have 50-50'd it.
Okay.
So
And I just don't know. So
okay, so we are getting the responses from some of the fans, I think, here, and we will have that for you in a second. So
Okay, don't let
it's
me down.
between TSM and CLG. So who are you thinking? What's your reasoning here?
Well, it's obviously TSM, because I remember when I first started playing in LCS, the first time I ever beat TSM in LCS was 2015 CLG Summer Finals.
Yeah.
I remember leading up to that event, I thought in my head, I was like, actually I've lost to TSM, and this was back before LCS. Back then, would play other teams like 4 times a split. So one season you would play them 8 times. And I remember, okay, 0-8 on EG, and then we lost them every single time on Winter Fox, and every time in regular season 2 on CLG.
So you had some struggles against TSM in the past.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just for a fun fact, your lowest win rate, this isn't the answer, but your lowest win rate was actually against Coast. You were 1-5 against Coast. You got
Really?
20% win rate against Coast.
Wow,
Walter.
Coast.
Yeah, but we
That's
are.
16%, by the way. 1 out of 6
Oh,
games.
That's true.
Yeah.
My mistake. I was thinking
Bigger
one
brain.
I was thinking 1 out of 5.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
okay.
I see
I'm here to help.
So I think the audience is ready. So the audience thinks B. What are you thinking?
Wow, all of those add up to 101%. But, or it did, and then it flickered down. They're listening.
They fixed it.
It's TSM.
Okay, so B, TSM, final answer. You are correct. 4 out of 5, so you've lost 21 times to C9, 30 times to TSM, only 16 times to CLG, and then 5, of course, to Coast. So good job, congratulations. I believe we have a prize for you. And here it is. Pobelter, top 10 mid NA, a customized trophy.
Thanks.
This surely costs thousands of dollars.
Spelling bee trophy. This is made out of 100% plastic.
That is gold. You are a liar. That is pure gold. And
Much like your skill level at Scion Speedway, pure gold.
Wow, real plaque engraving too.
Wow.
I'm
It's all handmade.
I'm hanging this up in the locker.
Yeah, you definitely
Oh,
should.
show it to the camera.
Yeah, very, very impressive stuff. So congratulations, Pobelter. You did a great job. 4 out of 5. You barely even needed these guys' help. Mark and Dash were useless.
What were you guys gonna do with this if I didn't win?
I would get it.
One of those
It would go to
stuff
me.
Fine in the attic, like decades from now. And
Exactly. It just goes in Freak's basement.
Yeah.
The rest of
where the world. That's where Fanatics trophy is from season 1.
Shushe's still living down there.
Yeah.
We got all kinds of stuff in Freak's basement. But anyway, thank you very much for coming on. Congratulations on the big win on the day. And we are going to be ending the day now, so make sure to come back next week for week 9 of NALCS. Playoffs are on the line. It's going to be a good one. So now, for myself, the casters, and the entire Live broadcast crew, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
9 announces that in lieu of continuing with the roster that has gone 6-1, they've decided to bring in FLICKR and Golden Glue for today's match.
If he goes for a flash Q and hits it, he will get the kill on Bowbelter.
Heal. Oh, he lands a Q. Just straight up clean. Now it's Smithy's team and Sven. He's going to flash order and grab first blood. Q's going to land. There's the ult out, and that should be a kill. Sven scaring on a rampage.
Arrow building. Go into Varus if you can.
One shot.
Braum slowed. Braum slowed. I'm staying on Take him out. Take him out. Go Baron. Go Baron.
Cloud9 smash Team Liquid.
Yeah.
Defeat the team you're tied with, or be locked out of playoffs here and now.
Solo wants to go in, and he's found the killing spree on demand, as Contracts will be number 2.
Golden Guardians are now knocked out of playoffs.
Just over.
Drop the Lambs respite. This is going to be a madhouse as Dardoch grabs the kill onto Acadian. Elder Drake taken very low. Going to be secured by Arrow of all people.
I'm going to make a dance into April of the face. Where's the tower? Where's the tower? Why is everyone just trolling, dude? Watch the trade with this, guys.
Hey guys, I just want to say I appreciated playing with all of you guys this year. So I'll play the best that we can this game, and no matter what happens, let's just play our hearts out till the very end.
Get it, bros. Get it. Sounds like we're going to war.
Thanks for trying your hardest, guys. I just wanted to say I appreciate every one of you.
Pops the ult immediately. Haunter going to try and combo it up. Does get the damage back down, but the caster slow is good. Bringing a flash forward. First blood on the table and gifted over. Pops a watch just to buy a bit more time. Someday is running in 1v4 to kill Sven. There's again Greg. He's going to try and find the steal this time. He's getting so much damage done. He just takes down Ander.
I got it. There's his healing ulti. There's his dead. He's done. Come on, help me. Help. Nocturne. Where's the punch? I'm going Baron. Nice. Baron still splash. You win that. Go on Ash. Flash. Nice. Speeding us. Nice. We did it. Big. Yes. Yeah. Oh, baby.